Okay, all right.
So we're doing the St. Mary Magdalene prayer garden, and we want to do it in the Kemper courtyard for the students and staff of Kemper. And we just want people to grow closer to God and like enjoy Mother Nature and be there with God and not feel like they have to go, like if they want to they can. And because church sometimes can be kind of boring, so we want people to be like outside and like enjoy it and also be like getting in their faith and stuff.
The purpose of our project is to help people grow in their faith and see what God has created us.
The benefits of our project is people are growing closer to God and have a quiet place to go. And it's open whenever and it's available to everyone. And we just want people to like grow closer to God, so we want people to like go there and enjoy nature and also sit there and pray and stuff.
Finances. We estimated that the garden would be around $2,500. We would have 2 fundraisers, hopefully, to reach our goal, and we would accept donations. All the things that we would buy with the money is a bench for $400, perennial flowers for $114.95 for a pound of seeds, a statue of St. Mary Magdalene, which is $1,150.99, gravel, which is $19.99 for 20 pounds, and landscape fabric for $19.99, and garden mulch for $20.72. And all the extra money would go to taxes, shipping, and maintenance of the garden. The time frame would be we would start in the early spring, because then over the winter we can get all of the materials, and then we would also give time for the flowers to grow before the next winter. Addy and I have volunteered to take care of it if the project is to be accepted, but also we would expect some people maybe to also volunteer. We would take care of the flowers and clean up any messes about the prayer garden.
We chose St. Mary Magdalene because she was Jewish, but she still followed Jesus, and she was there for his burial, crucifixion, and resurrection. So she's like really, really inspirational because she was still there and she was Jewish, so she still followed God, which is really, really cool.
The garden connects to our faith by growing people closer to God and realizing what He has made for us.
Well, we really hope that you take our project into consideration, and we just really want people to grow closer to God and like a respected place, and to feel like they don't have to go, like if they want to, they can. And we just want people to grow closer to God and feel like they can do it like whichever way, either way you're going closer to God, which is like what we need.
And these are our emails.
Yeah.
They're in your handout.
Your pictures are though.
Yeah.
Love your pictures.
Do you have any questions?
Okay, is that,
Yes, that's it. They're kind of short and sweet, just.
good job. I love the great, yeah, you guys, this is your first year seeing the courtyard down there. You guys get to go in there, do you take turns at lunch?
Yeah, well, we did, but I think now it's gotten cold.
Now the weather's
Really,
cold,
really,
yeah.
yeah.
Which I'm glad you guys get to use it too,
Yeah.
because I love that program. So yeah, I love that idea. So yeah, you had the nice summary right at the beginning, the purpose statement, so it was very, right off the bat, that was great. So you did a nice job of explaining that right at the beginning. The costs were excellent. Got it broken down all the way down to the maintenance and everything. That's wonderful. How did you find out did you actually find the statue of St. Mary Magdalene online?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just bought.
found a statue.
What?
I just actually found a statue.
Yeah, it took a long time though, because there's a lot of them, like, some of them are like wood, and we didn't want those to, like, we didn't want to use a wood one, so they get rotty too fast.
And then some are actual like Mary.
Yeah.
Mary
And there's other ones that were like this big.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and this is definitely an outdoor statue, not an indoor.
Outdoor.
Yeah, it's
That's
outdoor.
Made
good.
of concrete or
Yep. Yeah, that's a good price, cause we just bought a St. Joseph one for campus down the street there, and that was about $1,500, so that's right in line, and then even the, mulch and things like that. The bench, did you have an exact spot for that bench in the courtyard? Or- Yeah, if you remember that.
We were kind of thinking, I think, or like right there in the corner, and have like the statue like on like the wall, and have like the bench like facing the statue, maybe. Or we might have it go the other way and have like the statue in this way so that you can look at like the door and stuff.
Would the bench match the other benches, or would you?
That's what we were trying to do, but we can cut the same color, but some of the ones I found were like weren't the same color. So I think we still have to like kind of look for the bench and see if like we find one that's matching.
Yeah, you could talk to the administrators to see where did we get those benches, and then maybe the same supplier.
Okay.
Cause yeah, that would be nice to have it matched, because it's. Any other, I guess the why Mary Magdalene, you got in here about, we chose her, because she's Jewish, she still followed Jesus and traveled with him. Is there a way you can make a stronger connection to her, and why an outdoor nature type courtyard? Is there a connection to Mary Magdalene? If there is,
Well, I think I read an article that said she loved being outside, and I think something else about it. I think it was like she loved being outside, and that she loved to, not like she loved picking flowers and stuff. I think is what I read.
that would be awesome to confirm and verify that for sure, because if that's true, then I see what a great connection. But in the presentation, that wasn't in there, but if that's true, that would be really something to really emphasize more. That makes the stronger connection, of why the outdoor courtyard and Mary Magdalene. That would be a neat thing. What I've always too said, and I've said this to a lot of people who make presentations, Matt, you struggle with your pen a little bit there. Do you guys, and I'm not sure, I'm not as up to tune as you guys are with slideshows, and this isn't PowerPoint, is it? Or is it?
No, it's Google Sites.
Yeah, Google Slides. Can Google Slides do just a clicker?
This is a Google site, so we really can't do it.
This is so that it can be published.
Yeah.
It's like a website.
Yeah.
So we were trying to do alternative, because it seems like slides are pretty much and so we were trying to do something that was kind of had a multi-purpose, so that not only they could present from it, but we could publish and people could see what, their families could also
Yeah.
view and see what they did.
It'd be neat if you could explore somehow, if there's a way to advance like go back to your first slide of, or like is this your first slide?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next one then? Can you just touch it?
We don't have smart boards, these are just Prometheus. It'd be wonderful if we had that.
So and do you don't have the access to the clicker to your computer to integrate it with that? It has to be the pen?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's-
If they would have used my Chromebook, they probably could have had the Chromebook in their hand as a pad, flipped the top around, and then used it like that.
Or else off on a table right there, you
Yeah.
just reach over and click it. Because I've always told people, and this is something I've always told, not just you guys, but everybody who does slideshows, but advance to your next slide, or your next. you guys know, go to the next one once, I just want to see, I can't remember which one it was real obvious that, yeah, like that could be a good one. You've heard of PowerPoint. I've always tell people, it's not called PowerPoints. It's called PowerPoint.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
PowerPoints is multiple different presentations.
Or-
PowerPoint's just one, just different slides.
And the other part, and to go even further than that, PowerPoint, when I do a slideshow, I try to do as much as possible. You've got 4 bullets there, right? So PowerPoint means you're getting your full attention of your audience right now, and you want them, the first thing you want them to hear on this slide is what? First item is what? Read it to me. People will be growing closer to God. But I'm guessing 90% of your crowd, while you're talking, people will be growing closer to God. That's what you want them to be listening to. But about 80% of the crowd is probably already reading. People will have to place pray way at the bottom. PowerPoint means you want them to listen to your point, singular.
Yeah.
So when I do a presentation, I only show people will be growing closer to God. I get that across. Then I click it and go to, there will be a quiet place for people to pray. Because most of your audience is already reading about a place to pray, and you're talking about being close. You know what I mean by PowerPoint? I always think that's a powerful part of PowerPoint, that a lot of people don't use that. I'm sure I'm gonna talk about the other groups on the same thing. We have the technology, hopefully you can, way to do it in your future presentations, single points. And then sometimes people will say, oh, what about, they have a question. Instead of they're focusing on the 4th point about when's it available to everyone and people are gonna play, that way you get their full attention on PowerPoint. That's why they call it PowerPoint, it's singular, not plural. So if that's a way for future reference in your presentations, there's a lot of power of having just one point at a time on the slideshow. You got their full attention. And to stay on that, just same thing with this, like this is great how you have your cost in here. This is awesome. 90% of people are reading through this. Instead of listening to that, people will be growing closer to God. So I always say, when should you give this to me? At the end. At the end. Because you want them to talk, listening and looking up there. Because your math people out there in the back corner, he's looking at garden mulch, it's $20.72. I know there's garden mulch that's better than that, instead of listening to people be moving closer to God. So that's part of a presentation style to remember in the future, because that'll really help you down the road. You got some awesome points. Let's go to the costs again. Where is that at? Finances, yeah. Same thing there, yeah. Oh, did you have it broken out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just down.
Yeah. What could you do to improve that? I would say you got the $2,500, and you could say, we have it all broken out on your handout that I'm gonna give you here at the end. Instead of you putting it up, this plus it's, I can't quite read that, And that's the other thing with points, you make it plenty big, which I wouldn't go any smaller than that. So your bench $400, if it has to be that small, I'd say wait and put it on this only, and don't even put it on your slides. So it's something to think about for your presentation. Guys, you guys did some great homework there on pricing. That looks, you mentioned taxes?
Yeah, well, I said taxes
Yep.
and shipping, because I forgot to
Shipping,
add them on to
absolutely.
the site and handout.
Which that's probably why your statue's only $1,100. That's why ours is $1,500 with shipping. So yeah, you guys are right on that cost. That's very good. Taxes though, I got some good news for you. If Kemper is a nonprofit. We'd be purchasing this, you'd help with the fundraising, but we don't have to pay taxes. It's a good part of there, so you might save about maybe 10-15%, but anyway. So, but you did your homework, that's good. To make sure you got everything included. So extra money for maintenance, that's a great part too, because a lot of times people will have these projects and then who's gonna take care of them? So you did a great job of referencing that, as well as perennials, so that helps, you did a great job with all that. How, you mentioned fundraising and getting volunteers, who will get did you say something about volunteers, or volunteers were gonna help with the actual?
I'm hoping to have some volunteers possibly.
That like help take care of the garden if
Okay.
we weren't able to.
So you guys have to recruit volunteers?
Yes. And then we would also volunteer to help.
Yes.
How about when you guys graduate and all, how do you have any thoughts about how to make sure it stays and sustains 5 years later when you guys aren't even here? How you can make sure that keeps going?
Well, we were kind of thinking, what did Mr. Brown say? Mr. Braun had told us something.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Braun.
He came in and, worked with groups one day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, what did he say?
You guys in student council?
No.
Maybe there's a student group like that who can
Yeah.
help take ownership, and
Yeah.
every year after, that's the student council's job.
Yeah.
Something like that, or are there other clubs or?
Or even the 8th grade, you did this in 8th grade, maybe the 8th grade does it. Kids in 8th grade, cause you started it in 8th, maybe that's, an 8th grade responsibility.
So it doesn't get kind of, 5 years from now, as an alumni, you come back to visit and you say, oh, look at all those weeds around Meagen. I'm so disappointed, It's, you wanna make sure that, which I won't let that happen, we won't let that happen. But part of your job is to make sure, how do we make sure this stays really nice and clean down the road? I wanna be part of making sure it sustains that, so that could be part of your, you've done a great job with even your gravel, your landscape fabric. I would think most 8th graders would just forget about all that stuff.
Oh,
Nice job on that.
my grandma has a garden
Oh.
and like rocks in front of her house, so I know what all this stuff is. I know we need this, this, and this.
Very good. So you did a nice job on homework there, because, yeah, let's put a statue up. Okay, hey, give me some money for fundraising for a statue. Okay, we're all done. It's not that easy. There's a lot more to it than that. So that applies really well to the real world. And that's an excellent real life lesson there. Do you want me to,
You can tell those later. They probably just, they probably are wanting to know if this is something that they feel could be done.
Sure, yeah. We've actually had it on our long range plan to maybe build a little grotto in the courtyard someday. Because if you notice where the pavers are, you can't really see it. Can you see the picture? Your picture's kind of far away, but
Yeah.
there's, when you sit in that area, I don't know if you can zoom in on that. You can't zoom that picture out, can you?
No.
Yeah. So when you walk up that little sidewalk.
Yep.
And then there's a kind of a square of pavers. To the left there's kind of a open space.
Yeah.
And we almost, when I helped the Eagle Scouts dig into those pavers, we almost dug a hole for a foundation for a small grotto there. We just ran out of gas, we ran out of energy, but there could be a space right there for a statue or maybe a grotto, something right there. And so, yeah, someday we thought about adding some more to it. Especially we have 6th grades using it instead of just 4, 7 through 12. That makes it extra, that we got more people using it, so. As far as, the school has a buildings and grounds committee that studies these types of projects, so it would most likely start with a committee like that to look into, when we look into improvements on the grounds, this could be an object that we could have a possibility for, especially as, most importantly, in your part here, it connects to our faith.
Yep.
So that's what's very good about it. That's an excellent part of it. Nice job on that. Just a few small things. Introduce team members. Did you guys introduce each other at the very beginning?
No.
And part of that is you kind of know me, and I know Meagen, but
Sure.
But something to keep in mind. Don't forget your little checklist here, but your purpose statement was done very well at the beginning. You did a great job there. That was awesome. I could tell you were enthusiastic about it. That was good. And you guys got awesome smiles. Don't be afraid to smile all the time. You did a great job with that.